Greetings, sentient beings. This stream is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes. Nothing on this channel should ever be taken as medical or legal advice. So,
sorry, had to kill a spider.
Yep, tonight we have with us SciNeice.
In a rare appearance with a camera on.
Yep. And Doc Fearsome. And Godless Sewing.
How's it going?
Godless Knowing today, huh?
That's from last week. That shows that you're the only stream that I hop into because I love you, Purple. And I love you too, Doc. And
well,
sometimes
so
I like you too,
what
SciNeice.
it is you are knowing.
This was totally a cliche joke from last week.
Well, it's perfect because today's cliche day.
So before we go off, I want to first give a big shout out to the person who taught me cliches. Richard Dean Anderson is the king of cliches. Go back and watch Stargate or MacGyver.
Yep.
More cliches than any human being I've ever known.
Yeah, I need to binge watch that next. I've been doing Bab 5 recently, so
Babylon 5 is like that's
what? Wait a minute. What's Stargate?
Babylon 5.
You
don't know Stargate SG-1?
I'm gonna need nitroglycerin after that one.
Purple. Can we just remember who this is you're talking to here? Never seen much of anything. Never.
Okay. It's a science fiction TV series that ran 10 seasons and spawned like 3 spin-offs and a couple of movies.
Oh, that explains it. My TV choices usually involve police procedurals and true crime. Or SpongeBob. Was that a laugh or a hiccup? Are you okay?
What?
Was that a laugh or a hiccup? Because I couldn't tell.
That was a laugh.
Okay.
Though since I'm drunk, the hiccups are probably soon to follow.
Love that. My daughter.
Yeah, I've been wanting to figure out how we could be doing a movie night thing. So, we should take a moment and check who we got in the side chat here. I saw Greg Hartwick was here before we started.
Awesome.
My longest Patreon supporter.
Great. I love him.
Yep. Kevin Chaos. Oh, Tiny Captain. I think that's the first time I've seen him in here.
Oh,
He's got an interesting channel. People should go check it out.
Heck yeah. Always need new content to watch.
Okay, yeah. He's new. He's only put a few things out, but you know, your flat Earth debunking type things.
Hey, Hans B. Hansen.
It still confuses me that we have to continue to debunk flat Earth, but I guess the fact that we're in the platinum age of stupid, nothing should shock me.
Do you know, I didn't know that flat earthers existed until about 3 years ago. I thought it was just a cliche. I thought people were just yanking my chain.
Until I became active on YouTube, I just thought it was a running joke.
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't think it was real either until my uncle, may he rest in peace, was telling me about his the early formations of Science Strike Force when he originally called it the Science Denier Hall of Shame. He was telling me about it. I'm like, wait a minute, people actually believe this crap? Are you kidding me? Like, is this real? And he sent me down a rabbit hole for a while, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna brutally murder my brain cells if I keep watching this. And I like to have some brain cells. I mean, I need them to do my job.
Flat earthers, man. Flat earthers are just mad at globe. They just want to spin.
The only thing flat earthers have to fear is fear itself.
Ooh, I love that.
Yep.
Well, we all know I'm the dad joke queen. It's November. I might as well tell another one. Why did the turkey cross the road?
Because he was stapled to the chicken?
He wanted people to think he was the chicken.
Ah.
Okay.
No. The staple to the chicken one is why did the baby cross the road if you're an aficionado of dead baby jokes. But I'm not going to go down that wormhole.
I seek to live in a world where chickens can cross the road without having their motives questioned.
I still love the fact that the chicken's ancestors used to eat us, and now we eat them. Evolution is awesome.
What goes around comes around.
And here's Jenny.
There's Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
Hey.
Speaking of evolution, here's your before example.
Oh, now I have oh, what movie is that? Is this not the the Stanley Kubrick movie? Space. Oh, it's literally like
2001.
yes. The opening sequence of that movie, if you're a stoner, is definitely something to watch.
Never seen it.
Really?
It's spectacular.
Jenny, have we been over this? There are so many movies I haven't seen. There are very few classics I have seen. We know this.
Oh, well, let's put that one on your list.
She didn't know who Richard Dean Anderson was.
Who?
Fuck off, Will.
MacGyver.
I know who he is. I keep
Okay.
teasing.
I was about to
I've
start
heard
crying.
of MacGyver. I've just never seen MacGyver.
I was gonna cry. I grew up with the first MacGyver. All these
Will
remakes.
I break your heart every fucking time we're on a stream
It's
together?
okay.
You mention
No.
something, I'm like, what's that?
You know what it is? It makes me feel old, but that's okay. I'm accepting my age and that like all the stuff I was into is like gonna be considered an oldie or already is considered an oldie.
So if
I'm
you're
all right.
accepting your age, then why aren't you using your walker?
I have a cane. Classy. I try to keep it classy around here.
Oh, please, you just want a handy weapon.
Oh, canes are awesome weapons.
Yes, I know. I actually have one for when my sciatica is really bad. Because there have actually been times I've had to walk with one.
Oh, me too. I pulled my ass bone. And like we all laugh.
You pulled your ass bone?
Whenever
That
is the
sounds way
bottom,
dirtier than I'm sure it is.
whatever is the bottom, I don't know the technical term for it, but I
Your
couldn't
The
walk.
coccyx.
Yes. And the funny thing is, I coughed, and it changed my life because I was like, "Oh, what happened?" And I couldn't walk for 3 days. So I treat my body much better.
I used
No,
to
I
pop
still
my
have-
knee out quite a lot, so I had a walking stick. And I
Oh.
actually did learn to fight with it because one of my foster brothers had been an MP station in Germany, and they couldn't carry weapons off the base. So he basically taught me to fight using one of those 8D cell flashlights as a club. So it wasn't hard to adapt that for staff moves.
Josh actually used to own a cane with a knife in it.
Oh,
Like,
that's
with a
awesome.
And we have Godless Granny
Hi, Cal.
and Ox
Hi,
and
Ox.
Scapegoat.
Hey!
Hey,
And
Ox.
Alias Fake Name.
Are you kidding
Hello.
me? I before we go off of cliches, like I grew up watching like Leslie Nielsen.
Who?
Oh, you've never
The
seen
guy
Naked
from
Gun?
Airplane.
Have I ever seen what?
Naked Gun or the movie Airplane?
No.
What? You have
Now
got to
she's
watch
doing it on
Airplane.
purpose. She's going to claim she's never seen anything.
I'm really not. That's the sad part. I wish I was, but I really have never saw much of anything.
Okay, so this
The
is
funny
your homework
thing is,
assignment.
I've never seen E.T. I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter a few months ago. I mentioned never having seen E.T. And then my mother started beating herself up for failing as a parent.
They filmed that in a neighborhood that's completely built up, but that's like 15 miles from my house where they filmed ET.
Really?
Yes. That was
So-
like my movie when I was a kid. That's what my neighborhood looks like, is the neighborhood in ET.
Ooh.
I cried during ET because I was a little kid, but that's your homework assignment for the week, SciNeice, is you have to watch Airplane.
If I can find it on any streaming service.
You've
I have
got to
Hulu
be
and
able to
Netflix.
find it. You can probably find it on YouTube free
Or
with ads, but
So true. Or Netflix. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I'd have to like find a way to get those. Maybe on my laptop if I can get some decent Wi-Fi around here, because the Wi-Fi in this motel sucks. No, you know what movie always made me cry that I think is a classic, and you can either agree with me or be wrong. I was actually watching it on Hulu the other day. AI, artificial intelligence.
Oh yeah,
Haley
Is that
Joel
the-
Osment with the little robot boy. I love that movie, but I cry like a
It's a
baby.
great
at the end.
Yeah, that movie makes me cry every time.
Oh
Every
yeah,
Never
'cause
heard of it.
when they bring his mommy back for the one day, I burst into
Yeah.
fucking tears every time.
That's a
I
killer.
did not like that ending, and that was not the original ending for the movie either.
No,
The
apparently it
original
was. That's exactly what Kubrick wanted.
No, the original ending they felt did not play well with test audiences. That people were too sad about it.
What,
So
when
they put
David
in
was stuck
they
in
put in the
the
thing about cloning his mom.
Well, we don't really care what Kubrick wants.
I like the ending. I like the idea of aliens finally finding us thousands of years after we're wiped out, and
Well, that's interesting.
uh,
Airplane was called Flying High in the Netherlands.
Oh,
that
that's
just makes it sound like a
hilarious.
stoner movie.
Oh, that's hilarious. No, they do that
The
when I lived
the
in.
Zucker brothers who wrote that lived down the street from me.
When I
I
lived in
picked a bad
Mexico,
day
they,
to stop doing methamphetamines.
Oh my god, don't even mention methamphetamine to me right now. Those psycho ex roommates I have that are stalking me and Josh, they legitimately believe that methadone has methamphetamine in it.
Well, it has that word, meth.
Ox,
That's their logic.
Ox is doing exactly what I do every time SciNeice says that she doesn't like you haven't
That I
seen
haven't
something.
seen something.
Inside I'm leaping like what you haven't seen this?
It's
Because
like I'm ashamed of myself. Don't like think for 1 minute that I'm not.
I grew up around moviegoers though. Like if a
Well-
new movie came out,
So
they'd be
did
like, all
I, and yet
right, let's
I just put that in the list of topics for the stream today. Is movies SciNeice hasn't seen.
honestly,
Well,
I mean, we could go on a whole stream just about that.
Should
Okay.
I offer blah, blah, blah. My brain is in a fog, people. Please forgive me.
I don't know,
Um,
feeling.
Forgiven.
Fuck. What?
I
Well,
come on this streaming.
I'm sorry, I forgot
really,
what I was gonna
really
say.
high, so you're forgiven.
yeah.
No, it's
Actually,
the COVID.
I tend to be the one who hasn't seen most of the popular movies, but
Yeah, but I've got you
science fiction
beat.
stuff more so.
Hey, people,
So,
can
Jenny-
I make a public service announcement?
Yes, please.
If there's anyone out in the chat, or if you know anybody from out in the chat in your family or something like that, and they have never gotten their COVID vaccines, slap them across the face as hard as you can, drag them by their feet to the doctor, tie them up so they can't resist, and make them get the fucking vaccine.
Did you got COVID?
Agreed.
Wouldn't chloroform be
Yeah.
more effective?
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I feel absolutely horrible. Although, well, I'll do the whole story. Yesterday was Tuesday, right? Yeah. Okay. I started symptoms on Friday. Light symptoms. I just kind of felt a little, oh, something's not right.
Yeah.
And you don't assume that it's COVID right away.
Mm-hmm.
And by Sunday, I was assuming it was COVID right away
No, I have never seen up in
because
snow.
it got really bad, and I started having this cough that would not stop.
Mhm.
It was a dry cough, but you can feel the fucking mucus and phlegm in your lungs floating around and moving around. You can actually feel it,
Mhm.
Oh, I hate
Yeah,
when that
and-
happens.
and you cough as hard as you can, and it won't come up. It just does not come up, and you start
And
slowly
expectorants
beginning to
didn't
feel
help?
like you can't breathe because your lungs are filling up. Your head starts to hurt. The headache I describe is like somebody let a raccoon go in my head, and it's trying to pound and claw its way out.
Oh,
Um,
God, that's making my head
Here-
It
hurt.
just hurts like fucking hell.
You're-
Every joint in my body aches, including the bones in my ear.
you're killing me because you know, I'm an asthmatic and I watched my dad pass away from cancer and emphysema, and I felt like I know how it is not to breathe. So I know exactly what Jenny is saying right now.
Oh,
It's not.
it's a very scary experience.
Yes, I live like that. Like
Oh,
that's why I was telling
um,
Purple, like I live off of prednisone and inhalers
You
because I
get
have
this
bad lungs. You
you
know.
get this brain fog that just decides to take your basic intelligence and dice it up into little pieces and only giving you certain portions at a time when it decides and what it decides.
Yep.
And then each day it just got worse and worse. And I've had both vaccines and the booster.
Oh wow.
I gotta get my
And-
booster. I think I'm eligible
And
now.
Monday I went in because I was just not feeling right, and I
Yeah.
got tested early in the morning, and I got my results in the afternoon that I was positive. And
Holy fucking.
later that afternoon, the hospital called me and said, "You're coming in for the monoclonal antibody infusion, and
Yeah.
here's your appointment on Tuesday." And so I went in around in the afternoon on Tuesday, and you sit there for about 3 hours getting all these juices pumped in you.
Well, I'm just glad they could get you in right away.
And I woke up this morning, and I know I'm still sick. There's no doubt about that. I still have a bunch of symptoms, but I feel 10,000% better. You know, I still got a headache. My nose is still stuffy as hell. I still ache a bit.
Yeah, you definitely sound
but
like you don't feel good.
It's nothing compared to what it was yesterday. I wanted to fucking die yesterday.
I can hear you struggling
That's so good.
for breath.
I've been worried since the beginning of this because, you know, it's a matter of how long would I have it before I realize I've got it. Because most of the symptoms are things that just I wind up feeling from my allergies anyway.
Well,
I mean, I have to have a regular flu for over a week before I realize I'm sick.
Well, I have COPD and all that hurt stuff and shit, and so I know what you're saying that way. But if you get COVID, you're gonna know for sure by the third day. It's gonna be no fucking doubt.
This is why I've become a complete agoraphobe. Because of my lung condition. Like everyone I know is like, you will die if you get it. I have a good friend in Oregon. She was one of the healthiest people I've ever known. She's from Norway. She's kind of a fitness freak. She's got it twice. It has completely changed her life. Completely.
Yeah,
like,
it's no joke.
Yeah, and for the rest of her life, she will live off an inhaler like I am.
Yeah.
Well, I'm feeling better. I no longer am afraid of dying.
Okay.
And I'm sticking to the quarantine things. I'm out in the world right now. But I have my N95 mask and I'm wearing gloves and
sorry.
I had to go shopping because I don't have anything. So I set up a touchless delivery where they come out and throw it in the street and you go pick it up. And
well, that's the thing.
Those services are a godsend.
Yeah, they are. So
the social distancing to avoid close contact with other people.
So I've technically broken the rules, but I'm still not touching anybody anywhere near.
I do that. Don't feel bad. You have to get food. You
can't
you
do.
Starve. And
as long as you're avoiding breathing on people, you should be fine.
Well, there was this little group of Republicans that I
just don't go licking doorknobs, and you'll be fine.
If they're wearing MAGA hats, it's okay to cough on them.
Well, you took precautions, Jenny, and that's the important thing.
I swear I had, when your lungs congested and you breathe and you can feel the shit in your lungs and stuff, and you hear yourself wheezing. I was wheezing so loud Sunday night that I couldn't sleep. It was too loud.
Oh, that's my life. That is
I'll put them up on the stream because you're getting some, messages from side chat.
Oh, okay.
I've had problems with wheezing once in a great while since my embolism. I actually have to go for a CAT scan and ultrasounds on the 18th. CAT scan is to see what happened with the embolism, and ultrasounds are to make sure no new clots have formed. I have to get my arms and legs done.
Hi, Sadie. Thank you. Nice to meet you. I think this is our first time meeting. You're a cutie. Thank you,
I'm not
Tiny
familiar
Captain.
with Sadie myself. I'm not sure. Where
Yeah,
she
I've
wandered
never
in
seen
from.
this person in my life.
Hello.
I think I'm following Sadie on Twitter.
Oh,
Well,
awesome.
she should give me a call if she wants to date a.
Yeah, I think I've seen
an
her comment
elderly,
on
sick
Twitter.
woman who's about to die.
Never miss your opportunity, Jenny. Never
right.
miss your opportunity. A long time ago.
In a
long
galaxy
time
far,
ago,
far away.
somebody they pulled a firearm on me, and it's a funny story. It's kind of funny. I live in LA,
Well,
so
which
it's not
time was
rare.
this? Haven't you had firearms pulled on you more than once?
Many times, but it was on 420, and I went to this pot shop. They had a sale, and this kid, he was young. We were stuck in, long story short, he pulled a shotgun and he put it right up to my window, and I was like,
Oh, fuck.
F you, do it. And the guy looked at me and he's like, are you crazy? The second he said that, I hit my accelerator and I took off because I didn't know that. I thought he was going to shoot me, you know. But
Well, I mean, that tends to be the thought when one pulls a shotgun on you.
I was on the phone with somebody in my car, and they were in shock. And about 10 miles down the road, they're like, you are so mouthy that you talk so much that you were talking before you almost died. And I was like, I will never miss my opportunity to get the last word in. Ever. Ever.
Jenny.
Yeah, who are we kidding? You're going to talk shit until you really do get shot.
This and all the cliches are here for Jenny all day long.
Jenny Scapegoat is asking how you contacted it.
I live in a red county.
Oh,
that explains it.
So the possibilities are endless, basically.
Same here.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
you're scaring me. You are scaring me so
too.
much, Jenny.
Me too. Actually, the county I'm in currently has the highest rate of new cases for any county in Minnesota.
I'm in a very red part of New Jersey right now, and
the majority of people in my building are Trump supporters.
Are you in Hennepin County?
No.
Oh, okay.
Stearns County.
Okay.
I'm in Burlington County right now in a motel, and I'm really concerned because Burlington County is very Trumpy, the kind of people that would rather pay for a new race car than take care of their health. And it's funny, like New Jersey is notoriously blue when it comes to presidential elections, but right now our gubernatorial election is too close to call because there are some counties that are ridiculously red. I'm in one of them right now. Thank God I'm vaccinated, Josh is vaccinated, but now, Jenny, you're vaccinated and still it happened to you. And I've got a 4-year-old who's too young to be vaccinated. It's insane how it's been almost 2 years and people are still not having any mind for others.
Well, what's real shocking about it is they say that if you've been vaccinated, if you do catch it, it's going to be a lot milder. And if they call what I had mild, I just could not believe what unvaccinated people are going to go through when they get it.
Jenny, the fact that you're back on your feet in a couple of days, shows you had a very mild case of it. And that is the thing, that the COVID vaccine is different from other vaccines, that it doesn't necessarily keep you from getting it. It just minimizes the symptoms and lets your body get rid of it faster.
Well, that's kind of how flu shots work, isn't it?
Most of my current feeling to the monoclonal thing. That's specifically for folks who've actually developed symptoms on COVID.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it just like bang, hammered it down to a completely tolerable level. Well, not completely, but mostly.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would never consider that tolerable.
Where I live right now, most of the restaurants by my house are promising to not honor the vaccine passport mandate, and 43% of our sheriffs are not vaccinated, and they're probably all going to quit.
This is why I hate people.
It's going to be like, see, the thing is, LA isn't as bad as the stereotypes. It's certain pockets, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens because our sheriff is literally
Oh, gee, Sadie, is that a Brazilian or a Latin trip?
Oh, Jesus.
I'm sorry. I'm rude sometimes. Forgive me.
our sheriff basically is promising to not enforce the law. So it's going to be like Mad Max, and I finally get to be a warlord. I can't wait.
Are we sure you're not warlord?
Yeah.
Oh, I will be if society goes down. Cash me outside.
Herp, I'm going to send something. I'm going to send something to you on Twitter.
I
I'll be
should
right back.
slap you
Okay.
for saying that, Will. I should walk my ass from New Jersey. I should walk my ass from New Jersey to California just to slap you for saying
No,
that.
I want to say something because I'm from California. I respect
Congratulations. What do you want, a medal?
anyone. I respect anyone who makes money for doing nothing. Like Kim Kardashian, I want to be like her. I want to be a billionaire just for being, just for like being yourself. I think if she can
And I
convince
should slap you for saying that. Kim Kardashian. Actually, you know what? I can't talk shit with Kim Kardashian because you know what? She is trying to do something with herself. You know, she's
I'm
going
not
to
saying
law
they're good people. I'm not saying she's like a good person or anything. I'm just saying she made a boatload of money off of other people's, other people's insecurities.
Well, I mean, she is better than like. I mean, her stepmother, Caitlyn, literally killed somebody and got away with it. So.
Oh, that's different. See, I'm a narco-capitalist, so I believe in making money. But you also have to take responsibility for your actions. I think if that was anybody else in LA County, they would have been in prison for life.
Yep.
But if you're rich and famous, and it's not like, look at OJ, look at the list goes on and on. Robert Blake. If you're rich and you live in LA, you can get away with anything.
Hey,
well, if
Herp,
you're white, you can get away with anything.
I thought Robert
Herp, I
Blake
sent something
ended up
to
in
you.
prison, though.
Yep.
I
Eventually,
sent something to you since somebody mentioned the Rapture. I thought this would be appropriate. It's got some fine print, so you're going to have to leave it up long enough for people to read it. It's pretty funny.
Ooh, fine print. Something nobody reads.
I actually went off about that in a recent video.
Going to be raptured soon. Worried about who's going to look after Fido.
Oh my
For
God.
a modest one-time only fee, we guarantee to go to your house, take care of your pets once you're gone. Fee calculated on species, breed, and location of pets.
Okay, so I kind of jokingly said that to my mom the other day. She was like talking about what's gonna happen if she got raptured, and I looked at her and I said, I would be in heaven if all you mother effers left this planet.
Yeah, I keep
would be
saying I
running around
can't
the
wait
street.
for the rapture because then I can go and collect all the cool stuff that my neighbors leave behind.
I would go get my neighbor recently bought a Ferrari. I would be mashing that thing around the neighborhood. Are you kidding me? I would love for the rapture to happen.
Hi,
Bye.
Isaiah.
Say hi. They're saying hi.
Man, Rapture tax
Isaiah.
or Rapture insurance. I mean, what a racket, man. Why didn't I never think of that?
Oh man.
Well, you know,
like that.
as gullible as the right wing seems to be, I'm thinking I should try this. I could maybe make a bunch of money.
It's shocking to me that people believe this. My brother, a grown man who I used to respect, was actually scared of 2012. He was legitimately like buying firearms and like thinking something was gonna happen in 2012 because of the Mayan calendar. And I asked him, like,
Oh, God.
are you Mayan? Do you?
I actually remember December 21st, 2012. You know what I did? I went to a fucking club and got drunk, underage, I might add.
Okay.
Got fucking shit-faced drunk at an end of the world party. It was fun.
Yeah, well, you guys all laugh. Wait till you find out that it wasn't 12. They typoed it and it's 21.
At the rate we're going, I wouldn't be surprised.
But they were spot on. They were spot on because the planets align. But just as long, because I have a telescope, I'm out there almost every night, and it's awesome for astronomers because you can see the planets. But the funny thing is is that just as long as it took them to line up, it's going to take that long for them to drift away from each other. So all the Mayans did was really predict that the planets were going to align. They were smart. That's it. That's it.
Well,
I actually think the world just started declining in 2016,
They used
and
math.
it all started with that poor gorilla.
Oh, don't even get me
Dicks out
started
for
on I
Harambe.
knew you were going to.
But you got to give the Mayans credit, considering the level of technology they had, that they could predict when all the planets were going to line up, so far in advance.
I'm still impressed because I've been all the way down to Guatemala. Like, they built giant, beautiful temples, blah blah blah. But we have enough more technology in our phones than they had in the original space shuttles.
Well, look at what Aristophanes did with a couple of sticks.
That's what I'm saying.
If your brain's working right, there's amazing what you can do with a lot of different primitive
Maybe
things.
that's
Whatever.
true.
So I always say
Problem
that
is most
they
people's
were
brains aren't working at all, let
they
alone
were
right.
really good at math. They were really good at math, and they calculated it, and they got it damn near down to the date, and they were right. But
I envy that.
all that other crap was just religion is control. When you're scared, you're not thinking. So saying, "Oh, the world's gonna end," like that's just another way to control people.
Yeah, there are no atheists in foxholes.
Yeah. Well, the world has ended at least 24 times in my lifetime.
Since the year 2000, how many raptures have we survived?
I'm not even sure.
All depends which preacher you're listening to.
On 8808, so it's no secret I smoke a lot of weed. I used to watch TV.
Really, we wouldn't have guessed.
Just to laugh. So on 8808, Ron Parsley said that Jesus was going to come back on 8808. They damn near took him off the channel because Jesus didn't come back. For months and months, to the point where I watched it on that day and I was just sitting there like, nothing's happened yet.
Oh well, on November 6th at 1:30 a.m., Trump is coming back into the White House.
Speaking of which, did you guys see yesterday all those people waiting for JFK Jr. to come back?
Oh God
Are
almighty.
you effing kidding me? No.
The kind of shit people believe really makes my brain hurt. Like I get headaches because of how stupid people are and the things people believe. I can't begin to wrap my mind around it.
Well, just remember, the important thing about these kind of things happening is that these people are under influence and moderate, well, in some cases, extreme control by the conservative right wing folks, influencers, whatever you want to call them, of the Republican Party and stuff. They do what they say, and they know how easily manipulated these folks are. We have to be very, very careful in the next couple of years or so.
No, the one scary thing is that these people showed up in mass. Imagine if they were coming to hurt someone. Imagine if they were coming to do a Barney Fife trial and take someone out of their misery. That's the scary thing.
Yep.
Mob mentality is infectious.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
The January 6th riot, they built a gallows outside the Capitol, and they were in there expecting to haul some of the senators out.
I think in particular that gallows was meant for Mike Pence, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Well,
I remember when that broke out. I was at work at the shithole, and I called the owner had stopped by for whatever reason, and I called him out to the desk because I was like, "You need to watch this shit. This is how crazy they've gone." And the owner, who is the biggest, I mean, we've talked about how stupid the owner of my old job was. This was the same guy who told me, "Oh, your tire has a bubble in it, just patch it." But even he came out and he's watching this riot go on, seeing all these Trump flags, and he's shaking his head. And he's like, "I don't get how they can be so brainwashed that they can't accept that it's over."
Yep.
I'm proud of myself for not making a smart remark after that. But
well, you just remember November 6th, 1:30 a.m.
November 6th at 1:30 a.m. Oh my God! You know what? I'm going to keep my eye out. That's this Saturday, right?
I think so.
I didn't.
Sorry.
I didn't know a specific time, but I knew they said he was going to be back in November.
There was something else too. There was something that's supposed to happen tomorrow because my friend who got COVID is a Trumper, and she told me something, and I can't remember now. November 4th.
Well, one of the disturbing things is that the guy who most people believe was the original QAnon poster has moved to Arizona and is running for office.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
love that. That was just the good news I needed. You know, I'm trying to have a nice day off.
Oh,
I
I
need
guess
that.
Trump's having a judge will consider November 4th former President Donald Trump claims of executive privilege in response to a document request. So he's trying to use his executive privilege to not be held responsible for
He
what
doesn't even have
happened.
executive privilege anymore. Doesn't that not even work?
There's certain things that you cannot do to presidents or their wives. Hillary Clinton let the cat out of the bag because when Trump said, "Oh, I'm going to put her in jail," Hillary Clinton said something, some law I had never heard of. I'm going to look it up, but she's like, "Oh, hasn't he heard of blah 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 blah?" Like, it's basically they probably cannot be held responsible. I guarantee you, nothing's going to happen.
Well,
to
there
Trump.
definitely are laws that protect legislators from being sued while in office.
That's what I'm saying. So,
But my thing is, Trump's not even in office anymore. So how the fuck is he going to claim executive
but
privilege?
the crime happened when he was in office.
His lawyers are arguing that the things that happened while he was in office, he can claim executive privilege on.
Yeah.
But
'Cause
he's trying to claim executive privilege to prevent them from releasing documents.
Exactly.
And that he really can't do, but what it could accomplish is to delay it until after the next election.
Well, which is the whole intent.
PSA, the toilet paper end goes over, not under.
Yes, thank you.
Just because some people need to be told that.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
And because that's the way cats like it.
I don't have a cat, so that's not a problem right now.
I have a kid who still thinks it's
No,
funny.
the toilet paper roll goes over because that is how it was pictured in the original patent. That should end the dispute.
Well,
goes
then is it GIF or GIF?
So I say
it's
GIF.
GIF because the creators said it's GIF. I defer to the creators.
Wait.
Well, I'm trying to follow her logic. If that's her logic and it's absolute, then it's GIF because that's what the inventor of it said it is.
We're not talking about word pronunciation. We're talking about the orientation of the toilet paper roll. You're comparing apples and oranges.
No, I'm not.
But
we're not comparing the objects.
If the original patent for the toilet
rules
paper
that
holder,
establish your name.
If the original patent for the toilet paper holder had it coming over the top, does that mean I could go now and file a patent for an underhand feed toilet paper roll?
Yes, technically, if no one has done it, yes. I was watching an interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he was giving respect to this guy. He's like, "You have 75 patents," and he was like, "Most of them are screws or tools I invented. They're really not that." He just made a screw that's like has 3 parts on it. It's you can get patents for all kinds of weird stuff. If no one's invented it, they'll give you the patent.
Well, did you know?
Oh, God, hang on a minute. Ox just said he doesn't hang the toilet paper. He sits it in the window.
Well, that makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Sure it does.
That's what assholes do. Or worse, the people who sit the new toilet paper roll on top of the empty one. My stepdad started doing that. I don't know how my mother isn't in prison for murder.
No. You're missing what he's saying. He's saying he doesn't put the toilet paper on the roll because he sits in the window, which means it goes outside.
No, I sit it in the window.
Put it up again. Oh, it says I sit
Yep.
it. Okay, I'm sorry.
SciNeice had it right.
I take it back. I'm in a brain fog. It's COVID fault.
No, you should be ashamed of yourself.
No, Jenny.
God damn it, Ox. What are we going to do with you?
That's one of the
But
reasons
that's
when I'm
fine
on.
if he wants to sit and shit in the window and fertilize the downstairs neighbor's flower bed.
Somehow I don't think human shit can serve as a fertilizer.
Oh,
Sure
Sidney
can.
Crosby got COVID-19.
You ever hear of Milorganite?
Should I have? Do I want to?
Milorganite is one of the best fertilizers ever made. It's used very heavily on golf courses, and it's used by many, many gardeners in the more rural areas because deer do not like it and stay away from it. So they put it on their flower beds and keeps deer away. And it's made out of the shit from humans in Milwaukee.
Cool.
That's very Dahmer-esque.
Cool.
No, not at all. It's very practical.
Well, if the flowers are eating fertilizer, then the flowers...
I spray cougar
Dahmer ate
pee.
shit.
I spray cougar pee around my house. It keeps the cats away from my lawn.
My aunt sprays coyote piss on her flowers.
They sell cougar pee at Lowe's.
I've never seen cougar pee sold anywhere. I don't want to look for it, but I kind of want to.
It's synthetic urine. And you know the theory is if a cat smells a bigger cat, it goes away and it works.
Huh, I flush it down every morning.
I was going to say, I thought they were paying middle-aged women to pee in jars.
Now
that just sounds like something that would be very popular on a fetish site.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you can sell it.
If you can think of it, go to a porn search engine. It's probably already there. I challenge you. Oh, and also I've said this before. I said this before, but I'll say it again. If you're at the point in your life where you're writing comments on porn videos, get help.
I've never watched porn. I've never watched porn, and I consider that something like I'm not proud of it or ashamed of it. It's just something that is. But everybody thinks I'm lying.
Oh no, I'm a hound dog. Everybody knows that. You know, I like to have fun. But if you're writing comments on porn videos, seek out help.
Yeah, really.
Hey, Will,
to me that. Sorry.
Will, I meant to mention this for you. I thought you might like it. I found this meme since we're talking about toilet paper rolls, and it's this hand drawing of 2 toilet paper rolls from kind of like a 3/4 side view.
Is this beards are good, bullets are bad?
And gee, thanks.
No,
I love that one.
No, I didn't hear any of it. I didn't hear any of it.
You could have let her finish it.
Yeah, go ahead. It's your joke now.
No, Jenny, keep going. I didn't hear any of it. So go ahead.
No, that is the best meme. That should be the thumbnail of this stream.
The one roll is over the top. One roll is behind, from behind, and it says, "Beards acceptable, mullets are not."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Honestly, that should be hung in every bathroom.
Now I get what they were saying.
Scapegoat was saying about being 4 minutes behind, and I want to give people a tip for watching streams. Is that if your service is lagging a bit, just go under the settings there and bump the stream up to like 1.5 speed until it catches up for you. Then you don't actually miss anything anyone said, and you catch up after a moment.
And once it catches up, it'll default back to the standard.
Yep, it'll knock itself back to normal speed.
Learn something new every day. That used to happen to Junie all the time.
Oh, Junie's so sweet.
Absolutely.
Junie's awesome.
And right now, everybody should go subscribe to Junie the Apostate. Por favor.
I can't remember.
Herb and I have met Junie in person, in real life.
Yep.
And Junie really is a sweetheart.
Awesome.
Well, and Junie is another one of my Patreon supporters and drew my avatar.
Awesome.
And it is a hell of a lay. No, I'm sorry. I promised I wouldn't say that.
They call me trouble.
Junie is also a big advocate of electric cars.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And squid.
I need to take a picture of that. So I think it's in my last video. I'm standing in the room and there's an old electric car with dust on it behind me. We called that the Pope Mobile. It's a first generation wannabe electric car. You literally just take a power cord and plug it in. but it's it goes 22 miles an hour, so I have to register it every year. But
22 miles an hour. That's it.
You
But-
have this?
yeah, it's in my
Oh, bring photographs.
Oh,
I
and
gotta
it's still
see it.
running.
it's in my if you watch my videos, whenever I'm in the middle bay, it's behind me covered in dust.
How often do you change the oil?
I haven't no, honestly, we stopped using it we would take people on tours like at my job, it houses mentally disabled adults. So on the ranch, they would drive parents and prospective people around that, wanted their kid to live there. When I say kid, I mean like a grown, like a grown adult. But my whole point is we really don't use that anymore. And it's kind of just gone to waste, and it's really sad. But we called it the Pope Mobile because it's white and it has a giant windshield in front. You can see it in my videos. It's sad the state it's in. But
I
it's
would
an
I would
electric vehicle.
I would kill for something like that. Here in town, we're allowed to drive garden tractors, golf carts, and ATVs on the street. And so people have a lot of electric golf carts that they drive around. Because go anywhere in town, it's only half to 3/4 of a mile long, and you can get anywhere and do anything in town in a golf cart.
In
I'm
Philly, people
laughing
used
at
to ride
Ox.
dirt bikes around.
I'm laughing at Ox's comment.
Actually, where I lived in Michigan, you would always see ATVs or snowmobiles and golf carts at all the bars because half the guys there had lost their driver's license.
Same in Arizona. It's legal to drive around with golf carts in Arizona too. So
It was not
same thing.
legal in Michigan, but people did it anyway.
It's not legal to ride dirt bikes in the street in Philadelphia, and people do it anyway. So
Well, and in Michigan, the sheriff wasn't going to bust anybody because he was related to half of them.
well, that sounds real rednecky.
Oh yeah, that's why I didn't dare date for 6 years while I was there, because I was related to half the county within 3 or 4 generations.
Okay, so this is my issue on the East Coast because of my last name.
Go ahead, talk shit on the East Coast.
In
Go ahead.
South Carolina or Georgia, I'm related to every other black person. So when I was down there, I was like, I'm not dating any woman down here because I could very well could be related, especially when I went to Savannah.
Just require a 23andMe result.
No, but the family was so huge, and because a lot of people were illiterate, they spelt the last name different, but it's still the same, same DNA. Because we all went and got DNA
That's
tests.
what I'm saying. Get a 23andMe result. Have a DNA test done before you date somebody.
That's an awkward. Could you imagine a man being like, "Hey, how's it going? Let's go get a DNA test." I would tell someone to F off.
Well, then that would solve your problem. You wouldn't have to worry.
Someone asked me I'm like, "You trying to clone me? Get out of here."
No, honestly, like if that reasoning was explained to me, I feel like I would do it.
No, I
Because
get it.
the thing is, I come from a long line of relative fuckers on my dad's side.
Oh,
So the idea of incest has an extra ew factor for me because one of my cousins, the question is whether my grandfather or his oldest brother fathered her. And her mother was my dad's oldest sister. So avoiding incest is very important to me because I don't want to carry on the legacy of that side of my gene pool.
For the record, I have no problem with the East Coast whatsoever. Every time I've been there, I had a great time. I just have a lot of family members in South Carolina and Georgia, and so
So stay out
because
of
of
South
that,
Carolina and Georgia. Come to New Jersey.
it killed it. Well, I spent a lot of time in like Savannah, Georgia, and in Clinton, South Carolina with family, and I did not date anyone when I was there. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
who-
the town I was living in, Michigan, was actually the hometown that both of my parents had grown up in.
uh-oh.
And my father was from a large family, so that accounted for a lot of the population.
I'm sorry.
I
Yeah.
want to visit.
No, it
Red
was
Bank.
not a good place for me to be. I got stuck there. I was never supposed to be there nearly as long as I was, but economically depressed area. So it was a trap once I was there. And I still wouldn't be out of there if it wasn't for the help of a lot of people in this community.
That's awesome.
Yup. I'm glad we could get you out of there, perp.
I need to get out of where I'm at. Fucking sucks because I'm only on one income right now.
I'm going to move.
I still want to visit Red Bank, New Jersey.
Which one?
Well, I didn't know there was multiple.
There are 2 Red Banks in New Jersey for God knows what reason.
The one that has
Because
Jay
it's
and
Jersey.
Silent Bob's secret stash.
What?
The one that has Jay and Silent Bob's secret stash.
Okay, then that's got to be the one in Monmouth County.
I love the end of when
take your word
what
for
is it? Is it when Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back? Is that the
I
name
love
of the
that.
movie? At
I
the
love
end of
Jay
that
and Silent
movie,
Bob.
That's the name of a movie, yeah.
when they go around and they're like, "Are you user blah 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 blah?" and they're like, "Yeah," and they punch,
Yeah.
and that makes me fall on the ground laughing every time.
Yeah,
Every
they actually chase down the internet people that fucking give them shitty comments. I love it.
Every time, man. If that happened in real life, we would all be busy. We would all be busy.
And Jay would fucking punch a 9-year-old kid too.
Oh, he's like when he says I'm on probation, like he's not kidding. There was one time he had to ask permission to be on the Jay Leno show because he was on
lovely.
like probation in New Jersey.
Who? Weird.
Jay,
Jason
have you ever,
Mewes?
yeah.
Hmm.
Have you ever heard of Jay and Silent Bob?
No.
You ever seen the movie Chasing Amy?
Uh-uh.
I hate that
Clerks.
movie, but I've seen Chasing Amy.
No, I never saw that, but I saw Clerks and I saw Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
I've
I've
been there.
seen Clerks, I've seen Mallrats, and I've seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Wait a minute, there's movies you've seen?
Yeah. They're few and far between, but they do exist. For example, one of my favorite movies of all time is My Cousin Vinny.
Man, I almost spit my coffee
That's a
out on
good
that
one.
one. That is
That's
an
a real
absolute.
good one.
Herman Munster was the judge in that
Fuck
too.
yeah,
I'm
Fred
still in love
Gwynn,
with Marissa Tomei.
My Cousin Vinny is like a family Thanksgiving tradition. It started the
Nice.
year I got married. Biggest mistake of my life. My ex-husband needs to burn in hell. Me and my
What's the
ex-husband.
What's the timestamp? We made it 52 minutes. Is that? I can't see. I don't have my glasses
Yep.
on.
52 minutes since the stream started.
That you didn't mention your ex-husband. I'm proud of you.
Well, this, but no,
I'm
it was,
just
it was
joking.
I just remember this started the year I got married. It was me, my aunt, her boyfriend, my ex-husband, and Cy Strike and his wife came by for Thanksgiving dinner. And we all sat around and drank blackberry wine because my aunt, Cy Strike's widow, knew that I loved Thomas Ellis blackberry wine and brought it specifically for me because she loved me and I was low-key Cy Strike's favorite. And we all watched My Cousin Vinny. And that became like a thing. We all watched My Cousin Vinny.
I think one of the greatest lines from any movie ever was from Dream Team. That yeah, when they were in a restaurant and this guy was harassing his former girlfriend, who he was trying to win back, and this other guy was harassing him, and he grabs the guy by the collar. And the guy says, "Who the fuck are you?" He says, "I'm an escaped mental patient with a history of violence."
Oh.
So
just another thing I've never seen. Damn, but
so
in
real life, a long time ago, I was traveling between LA and Oregon, and I'm by myself. I was in my truck. And out in the middle of nowhere, like on the border between California and Oregon, there's rest stops everywhere. I pulled over in a rest stop. I get out, and this big 6'2", lanky white guy starts following me in the bathroom.
I'll be right back.
and literally comes and sits in the stall next to me. But now that I think of it, he was there for dogging, you know. But I was like this, like I have this crazy mindset. So he was like, "What do you do?" And I was like, "Oh man, I'm fresh out of prison." And he's like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Yeah, I just got out of prison. I've been in prison for 9 years. I just got my license. I'm going up to see my friend." I totally lied my ass off. And he was like, "Oh, okay. What were you in prison for?" I was like, "I was in prison for murder." And he's like, "Oh," okay, you have a good night. And he left the stall. And when I got out, he literally got in his car and drove off.
What is Will? What is dogging?
Oh, dogging is when people, when two individuals go into either the woods or a rest stop bathroom or something and have some sort of sex.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's what they call it?
But dogging is more like where it's a preset destination. It's a British term, but people do it here in America all the time.
Yeah, I thought dogging was just having sex outside, not picking up strangers.
It's a combination of all. Like, see, that's the thing. Like, I'm not giving away any secrets. It's different now, but people used to meet up and have really rando sex, and there were certain spots, but the cops, like, you know, busted the spots. And I'm talking about 20 years ago. This is not anything, you know,
Oh, please.
nowadays.
5-6 years ago, I used to meet up with randos and have sex.
I still meet up with randos and have sex.
And beware of the public toilets in Juneau Park, Milwaukee.
But, you know, like anything, it's real. There was one time someone asked me jokingly, like, "Oh, how's the dogging scene?" And I gave them a real answer, and they were kind of shocked. It's one of those, you know, I still bitch about how when they gentrified Hollywood, they tore down all the booby theaters where gay men would go in there and cruise each other. And honestly, it was kind of a safe place because it was known that all the dudes would go in there to cruise each other. And when they tore that down, everybody, you know, it's all bad. And they did it to put like a Rite Aid in and a Starbucks. They've completely gentrified Hollywood. It's really sad.
Well, that's what they did to Times Square too.
Hollywood was one of the seediest places on planet Earth. And now they tried to make it family friendly. And if you go down there, it's still not, you know, still not family friendly.
Of all places, to hear it on the Kelly Ripa and Ryan Seacrest show in the morning, they were talking about the difference between New York and LA, and Kelly was talking about how people go to Los Angeles, Hollywood, and think it's going to be this wonderful thing, and movie stars and you know, typical Hollywood scenes from movies and blah 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 blah. And instead, they get down to Hollywood Boulevard and they just stand there with their mouths open, not believing what they're seeing.
Yeah, it's hookers, pimps. Like, LA is no joke. It's not for the faint of heart. And now, because the economy took a dive, crime rate has shot up 30% in Hollywood. I want you to think about that. It went from like 25% to like almost 60% now. So you have people are getting robbed during the day in Hollywood. It's
that was happening in Philadelphia forever ago. I just think it's so funny that Philly is called the city of brotherly love. It's anything but.
So we have a saying here, like there's a neighborhood called Hawaiian Gardens. It sounds amazing. It is one of the most dangerous places on planet Earth. Panorama City. Panorama, the camera was invented there. Man, you could literally get shot at a stoplight. That place is so dangerous. Like the names, you know, around here, they sound, we have all, like, anything that has paradise or anything like that in the name is probably somewhere where you get your life taken if you walked in that neighborhood.
Good
Right.
to know. I'll take notes. And I'm not being sarcastic. I actually have a genuine death wish. Now I know where to go.
Oh, just walk up to any LA County sheriff, pretend like you have a firearm. They'll take you out.
I don't know how effective that would be.
No, lately around
Suicide
here,
by cop, yeah.
we've had a rash.
I'm a
to the
short white woman with huge boobs. It wouldn't go over well in the media, so I don't think they'd shoot me.
You know what?
Oh, they'd shoot you. They just wouldn't talk about it.
Exactly. So I was telling Purple this about 3 weeks ago. It's to the point where the sheriffs are like asking people to like say something if their neighbor's freaking out. But at least 4 or 5, stereotypical Trumper men have attempted to take on the cops with their AR-15s, and the cops are flat out saying this is like these people are suicidal. They don't know what to do, and it's like an epidemic here now, where people are trying to take on the cops because they know the cops are going to respond. And the cops are like, hey, we don't want to kill you, but if you have a firearm, we have to,
I'm not going to commit suicide by cop.
So
I have ideas on how to get myself shot, but I'm not going to say them on a stream.
My whole point is I live in a mainly white neighborhood, and it's your stereotypical Trumper guy with the AR-15 that's getting clipped out right now. It's the strangest thing. But I think it's from people being at home so long because of COVID. They're watching too much television. They're getting hyped up. It's
Everybody's
easy.
just going ape shit is what it is.
A long time ago, I read a book. It's called Hatred. And like basically hatred is like the pathological descent into violence. If you sit around and think about anything long enough, you'll be ready to like if you think about somebody and then you see that person, you're ready to punch them because in your head you've already punched them 1,000 times, So be careful.
I don't have to sit around and think about somebody for a long time to be ready to punch them. I'm in a perpetual state of ready to punch those people. But think of the industry I work in.
I'm a fighter, and I don't even think about it. It's not even in the back of my mind or anything.
Hey, you guys, I gotta go.
Please take care of yourself. Okay. Yeah.
You feel better, Jenny. We love you.
Get some good rest.
I'm back on when I get home, but I gotta go now.
All right,
Yeah, get some rest, sweetie.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I feel bad because like on the real, I know how it is to not breathe. I've been a bad breather my whole life, and so I feel sorry for anyone that gets COVID, because not being able to breathe sucks.
I've had a few episodes of things where breathing was very difficult, and I'm a pretty heavy smoker right now, so
you and me both, Doc.
Yeah, the mask thing really does suck for me. It really is difficult to breathe, but I do it anyway. I've actually developed techniques to compensate. So, like I stretch my nostrils out to hold the mask out to give me a better pocket of air to breathe in and shit. So
I have to every once in a while I have to like pull my mask out to get a full full breath of air.
Well, and at work I can, when I'm alone and stuff, I can sneak away to areas to pop off the mask for a while. So
it's going to be interesting here because people are not honoring the mask mandates. We had a recent outbreak at the high school to the point where a friend of mine was asking, like, they canceled a football game. So all the kids from the infected school went to the other football game and gave other people COVID because those kids had COVID.
Fuck.
I swear the reopening of schools was one of the worst ideas of the pandemic. My boyfriend's nieces and his brother and sister ended up with COVID because of having this. His brother and sister-in-law fought tooth and nail not to send their daughters back to school, and their hands were forced because I think like the school district threatened to call DHS on them or something.
Yep.
Well, your kid has to be in school. Like Isaiah's homeschooling, but they just technically have to be enrolled in a program.
It was recklessly irresponsible for them to reopen the schools before kids could get vaccinated.
I totally agree.
What though was parents didn't want to give up their free childcare. And some of them just genuinely like I don't understand parents that don't enjoy being around their kids. Like every parent needs a break. I have a 4-year-old, of course I need a break, but
that was the problem mostly, is that having the kids home was interfering with some of the parents working.
Well, there should have been a better solution than just irresponsibly reopening the schools.
Yeah.
And then you get parents that are fighting these mask mandates. It's ridiculous. And this is why I'm really afraid of what's going to happen. Like New Jersey had one of the best responses to COVID in the county, specifically because we had a Democratic governor, Democratic legislature. But now it's getting real close to call with this idiot Republican who's, saying, oh, yeah, I'm not going to have mask mandates in schools, and I'm not going to have this, and I'm not going to have that.
Yep.
Like, dude, do you want to give people COVID?
Well,
We had one of the biggest turnarounds because of the fact that Murphy wasn't fucking around. I mean, this man was in his hospital bed having just had a cancerous lesion or tumor or something taken out of his fucking kidney, and he still handled COVID like a boss.
Wow.
If people had followed the CDC recommendations, back from the beginning of 2019, we probably would have been done with the whole thing in 6 months and it would have been over with. But now it's going to be permanent. We're never going to completely get rid of it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And what was wrong with doing school at home over the internet? Like, we have this technology, we have this communications technology that is,
and really, some
just
kids learn
fantastic.
better.
Yeah. So what was wrong with that?
Like some kids actually learn better in the virtual setting than in the classroom. But there's still this antiquated idea that the classroom is always best. No, it's not.
Yeah.
People talk about, parent choice. How about we make it parent choice whether or not to send these kids back to, schools were the original super spreaders anyway. Everybody remembers when their kids would come home with stomach bugs that were going around the schools. I used to fall victim to a stomach bug every year.
Well, let me ask you something. How many kids are getting spitballs in the neck over the internet? How many distractions in the classroom are eliminated by internet classrooms?
Exactly. It's honestly more beneficial all around to do the virtual, except that parents don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
There are a lot of, and it's not even necessarily interferes with the parents working. A lot of parents are just very lazy when it comes to their kids' education. They expect the teachers to do everything, and not actually be involved.
As a single father, I was used to always doing everything by myself anyways. So,
there was
virtual learning was nothing for you then.
There was a time in human history when schools did not exist. Who taught the kids then? The fucking parents.
Absolutely.
It was the, roles were very sexist back then. So it was the fathers teaching the kids to hunt and the mothers teaching the kids about, taking care of the household, whatever. But nonetheless, parents.
Who
were
the hell let
teachers.
Stool out of his cage?
Hey, Stool.
Hey, Stool, how you doing?
I saw Stool in the chat. I just happened to look. I was having a nice day off, and I still have the potential for a nice day off. One of the perks of working in the hotel business is sometimes you get like awesome little perks you weren't expecting. Something I got that I wasn't expecting was free tickets to a circus at the Mann Music Center, the Universal Circus. And Josh and I are going with one of our friends tonight. And here I was thinking it was going to be a nice day. Now Stool's here.
What the fuck? I'm working at the wrong hotel.
Okay, well, we're hiring. Bring your ass to Pennsylvania.
Oh, I'm tempted. I've been wanting to get out of fucking Iowa my entire fucking life.
Doc, if you've got a decent credit score.
I don't.
Me either. Neither does Josh. No, come to like New Jersey or something. I could get you into my hotel though. Because, for God's sake, I'm the fucking desk supervisor. I could get you in. We need people that are actually going to show the fuck up.
Is weed legal in Jersey?
As a matter of fact, it is.
Oh my fucking God.
Ooh, I should open up I should open up a hotel. Would it be like a Bill Murray movie?
No, Will, you should not open up a hotel. The hotel industry, and Doc can confirm this, the hotel industry is not for the faint of sanity. You people have all heard my hotel stories. Will has even hosted streams while as it went on live. I was dealing with it live.
Dude, here's my theory. As soon as guests walk through the threshold into the fucking hotel, they become children.
Yes.
Their minds dissolve, and all that's left is the id. They can make all the messes they want. They can run around and make all the noise they want. They can do whatever they want, and they can make. And if they want something, they expect it. They expect everything they want, and they expect it to happen right fucking now.
Yeah.
Story of
children.
my life.
So
They're
everything,
fucking children. They have nothing but an id.
everything that Doc is saying right now is true. I was a manager of a fast food restaurant in good old Portland, Oregon, in my early 20s.
Oh
And
dear.
It drove me. It made me more crazy than I already am. But I ended up quitting after 3 years of working at a store on good old Fifth and Taylor in downtown Portland, Oregon. I was spit at, had hot coffee thrown in my face.
Fuck.
There was this group of kids that would go around trying to terrorize people, and like I got all John Wayne with it to the point where they didn't even want to come near the restaurant because they got tired of me barking at them. Because most bullies can't fight. Let's be real. But
Josh is a bully and he can fight.
There was one time, there was a man that would come in who worked at a movie theater. He was a quadriplegic. He had a power chair, and this guy came in and stole his fries. And like, I tackled the guy. I absolutely ran after the guy and tackled him. Like, I didn't have the heart to see how disgusting people are. If you work a certain type of job, people treat you like garbage. I worked at a sandwich shop in LA near the studios, and it's not the famous people that are slobs. It's everyone else that's with them. They treat people like garbage.
I actually had I had KRS-One stay at my hotel a few weeks ago. KRS-One was actually one of our guests. He had no entourage or nothing. It was just him and his wife. They were two of the most polite, down-to-earth people I've ever had the privilege of, having stay in any hotel I worked at.
He's literally a professor at Harvard. He's into woo-woo. I love KRS-One, but he's into some real life like Wakanda woo-woo. And I grew up with KRS. Like, I really respect that man. And I'm glad to hear that he's a real human being.
Oh, he is so nice. He was like asking me for wine. He came down to the desk and he asked me, where he could get a good bottle of wine. And he actually listened to my recommendations because I told him I used to sell it. He took a selfie with me, as everybody has seen on my Twitter page, and he even signed an autograph for Josh because I mentioned to Josh because I had never heard of him, honestly. But I texted Josh and I was like, hey, I have a question for you. Have you ever heard of KRS-One? He said, yeah. I was like, well, he's staying at my hotel right now. And he freaked out, begged me to get an autograph. And I asked him, I was like, do you think you'd be able to sign an autograph for my boyfriend? And he was like, oh, absolutely, no problem. He was such a sweetheart.
I have no clue who you're talking about.
He's a rapper from the 80s who's just endured.
And what's the name again?
KRS-One.
He goes off. He goes off on he goes off on Mason stuff. When I was younger, I was really into hardcore 5% Muslim stuff and woo-woo and Buddhist theory and all that stuff. And KRS-One kind of brings all of that together, and he gives speeches all across the country. He's a professor at Harvard. He's an intelligent human. Yeah, he has a class.
I
Like,
did not know that.
he's a genius, but like, you know, like most Americans, he's has that weird spirituality, religious twist to it. So it's a turn off in my old age. When I was younger, like I loved KRS-One, but as I get older, it's all woo woo. You know, like I love listening to powerful speakers. Like I still watch Louis Farrakhan, but in the end, I know all he's trying to do is lead me to his religion. I glean the things out, you know, but I know that all he cares about is adding numbers to his particular brand of Islam. You know, that's it. But they, you know, those people do say things of value. I don't know. I watch all kinds of weird stuff on YouTube. I like watching. I watch what's it called? Little Light Studios. It's a Christian channel, and they hate everything. There was recently
Then
a
why do
Twitch
you watch it?
because I want to see what the opposition has to say. I love opposing
Oh, I
views.
thought maybe it was just for the sake of making yourself laugh. That's why I watch shit like that.
It's fun. They recently had a video where they were going off about a Twix commercial where a young boy was wearing a dress, and there was a witch who was protecting this young boy throughout his life. That was their Halloween commercial. They lost it and said the occult is taking over the world. The gay agenda is taking over the world. Let me tell you something. If the gay agenda was taking over the world, there would be a Lamborghini behind me and somebody would be twerking on it. The gay agenda has not taken over the world.
To be fair, the occult owned the world before Christianity took over.
Oh, yikes.
True.
That stuff just...
To answer Ox's question that I just saw in the side chat, I'm not sure what they're starting at for desk agents. I think it's like 12 or 13 an hour. As a supervisor, I make 15. But yeah, we are looking for people too. We desperately need people.
Oh, supervisor, how'd you get that then? By oppressing the workers, by exploiting the system.
No, I got my role on pure merit. You know, the shit I dealt with at Quality Inn more than qualified me for the position. I ran the place single-handedly while my both managers were out, one with the tick-borne illness and one with COVID exposure. I ran the place alone, so I knew what the hell I was doing. And I mean, y'all were on streams with me while I dealt with half the bullshit that was going on. Like, you know, we'd be on, you know, Sewing Circle or What the Fuck show, and I'd just be like, oh, God damn it. And you hear me at the desk, no, motherfucker, put your goddamn mask on or get the hell out.
See, that's why I
There are several times when you were on the midnight show here.
I couldn't have a
Oh
service
yeah, because
job
with the overnight shift, that was when I dealt with the worst of it. I don't think I was on stream for the wine throwing incident though.
I recently
that one you told us about the next day.
I recently saw someone lose it at McDonald's, and as they were walking out, they looked at me, and I was like, "You're a fucking baby." I couldn't believe a grown adult. When I say they lost it, like Isaiah like stood behind me kind of, and I was like, "This guy is a coward. He isn't gonna do anything." Because if he's screaming at a 16-year-old, he isn't gonna say a word to me. You know.
Yo. Fucking children, man! I'm telling you.
And you know,
not even just hotels.
That's what I'm saying.
I got screamed at by a FEMA employee recently.
I worked in fast food, so when you know, in my old age now, when I walk into a fast food restaurant, I treat everybody with respect. And whenever I go to a sandwich shop or something, and I see a tip jar, I'll put 10, 20 bucks in there. And at my pot shop, they love me because I tip like 15, 20 bucks because I know they have to split it up like Starbucks, you know, and that's why they give me tons of free weed at the shop. I hook them up.
I have yet to go to a weed shop here in New Jersey since weed is legal. Like the places do exist. I just have yet to go to one.
Yeah, still not legal in Minnesota, only by prescription.
Yeah, I want to, now that it's legalized. honestly, I want to take advantage of it being legal in New Jersey while I can, but I've got other expenses to deal with in my current situation.
Let me see.
That's what sucks about being home. Like, most of my paycheck goes toward paying a week at a motel at a time, because otherwise it's back to sleeping in my car, which I've already done a few times.
Yeah, I've been there.
It blows, and it's like, honestly, I think we're going to be stuck in this situation at least until tax time, and even then I have to worry about my credit score because nobody's going to fucking co-sign shit for us.
Yeah.
Wow. There's a lot of cities in Iowa. I'm looking up a map right now to see
Now,
so you can dock
cities
stock?
or small towns?
how
Because actually,
how-
there's a lot of small towns in Iowa.
well,
A few
someone from
cities.
being from LA, when I look at a map and I see a bunch of names, I'm like, oh, okay, it's incorporated. Because here we're
Well, the
like,
town
you
I
pull,
live. Well, the town I live in has just under, I think, just under or around 29,000 people.
oh wow.
Yeah, where I lived in Michigan, they called it a city, but it had a population of less than 3,000.
Let's ask,
Yeah.
My hometown was actually considered a borough. It was actually called the Borough of Hightstown.
My actual hometown
Yeah, well,
is
nobody
called,
off of the East Coast knows what a borough is, so.
Yeah, my actual hometown.
I don't even know what a borough is. I don't even know what would constitute a borough.
Thank you.
You are so very welcome.
There's
my
sorry. There's
yeah, my actual
63,000.
hometown is I haven't lived there for many years, so it's no big deal. But the town I was born in and grew up in is called Forest City, Iowa, and it probably has around 17,000 people. I'm guessing.
That sounds
It's been a
beautiful.
long time.
I'm not sure how many people are in my hometown.
Just on my side of town, there are 63,000 people.
We get
But
it.
then-
You live in a phone booth town.
But then, isn't the term Forest City kind of an oxymoron?
It
Yeah.
reminds me of a Sonic Hedgehog level.
I mean, unless there was elves living
Am I the
there.
only weirdo who
I think
grew up
it's an
on Nintendo
oxymoron.
and only Nintendo?
Don't
Like,
tell
I
me you
played
didn't
Sonic the
play-
Hedgehog.
I have
I
a
played
Sega
it, but
right
I didn't
here.
have Sega consoles growing up. I was strictly a Nintendo child.
I went
I
from
still
a
have my
Sega
64.
from a Sega to a PlayStation.
I still have my green 64, and I still have my GameCube.
No, you know what? I had the original Nintendo, and I remember now because I had a Bart Simpson eat my shorts sticker on it. I remember that.
Now I have my I need to hook up my 64. Actually, maybe I'll make Josh go out and get it because I want to play Pokemon Stadium. But
I
Josh
have-
won't play Pokemon Stadium with
I
me
have mine
anymore.
hooked up. I have
Oh
mine
my
hooked up.
god.
Oh yeah.
Love that.
I call it.
I have never owned a video game console outside of the 8-bit era.
Oh,
I don't know
wow.
what to do with you, Purple. But
You
no,
know-
I have the original Pokemon Stadium, and Josh started refusing to play with me anymore because
Yeah.
I use rental Pokemon to make it fair, and I wiped the floor with every single one of his Pokemon in a matter of 5 minutes with just one Gengar. So he got mad
You know, and,
because using Gengar is cheating. Ugh.
to answer Mage Grey Wolf, you know, I gave my Xbox away to a cousin of mine. I kind of want it back. I miss the original Xbox. I would like obsessively play Halo on there. So I know what it is to like buy PS2 also. I would obsessively play Tekken on that. Like that was my game.
I didn't start playing Tekken until I was an adult. My ex-husband had Tekken for the PS3, and he taught me how to play.
We would have
I
You know,
tournaments.
actually got
that's one of the
better at it
main
than he
reasons.
was.
That's one of the main reasons I never got a video game console. was back when I had my Commodore 64. I realized how I could get sucked into a game and waste huge amounts of time. And it's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
but that's
yeah, we're not
okay.
going to do this anymore.
All right, I'm
I
gonna
spent so much of my childhood playing Zelda, and it's the reason I actually have fairly decent hand-eye coordination.
I'm gonna date
And
myself.
the reason you haven't seen any movies in the last 50 years.
First of all, I've
So-
only been alive 27 years, so let's walk that back a bit.
When I was a
Come
kid,
on, we were referencing movies from the 80s that you haven't seen.
Okay, and I was born in 1994.
I've seen a ton of black and whites. I've seen a ton of movies from the 70s, from the 60s, you know.
The Warriors.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I grew up on, stuff like the John Wayne war movies.
Me too, with cowboy
I
movies.
used to think John Wayne was just somebody that Peter Griffin made up, but then I found out he was a real person.
Yep.
Okay, so
And the
I'm against blasphemy laws, but that's blasphemy.
and
Well,
the
I don't know
Harryhausen
what to tell
science
you.
fiction.
Okay,
The
Josh makes
7
fun of me
Voyages of
for this.
Sinbad.
I mean, I lived under a rock. Josh makes fun of me for this, but I used to think there were no black people in Ireland.
I actually dated a woman who was from Ireland and she was black. There are black people in Ireland.
I
lived in
learned
LA.
that I learned that about 5 years ago, but I still feel like an idiot for the fact that I ever didn't. Because the only things I knew about Ireland were from memes, and all the memes involved redheads, and I was like, oh, okay.
So-
Looking back, that was a really
Okay.
stupid thought that I had.
So
but
Mage
Mage
will-
is saying, yeah, playing video games was therapeutic for me to help me recover from the strokes.
My
There you
Yeah,
go.
I can
64.
definitely see that if you have to relearn the eye-hand coordination.
Yeah.
I call
yeah.
my Nintendo
And that-
64. I
video
call it
games are
Mario
great
therapy.
for that.
Oh,
Mario therapy, oh my
it
god.
is Mario therapy.
I actually have a Switch too, but I play Animal Crossing on it, and Josh usually hogs it to play Borderlands.
I have
Yeah.
a Switch also. It turns the lights on and off.
But like when I turn
Oh,
on
that was
my when I
terrible.
turn on my my son's PlayStation, whatever it is, 4 or whatever it is, if I'm playing a game, all of his friends or someone I know is like, "Hey, is that you? Like, are you playing?" Like, I like turning on my Nintendo 64 and being able to put on headphones and zone out. I have a CD player down here where I put on headphones and I ignore the world. I'll ignore my phone, especially when my son's with his mom on the weekends. I tune out. I need to sometimes,
Okay,
I
so
like-
even though the subject has switched 6 times in the last minute, I wanted to respond to something SciNeice said.
About-
I know people in the town I live in currently who freak out when they hear a black person with an English accent. It just freaks them out.
A lot of
That's it.
there were a lot of
A lot. Oh
freed
yeah.
slaves. A lot of freed slaves ended up in England.
Yeah.
So in 2000 and I think 2 or 3, an ex-girlfriend and we traveled from Santa Monica to Georgia up to Maine, and somewhere in Louisiana at some weird restaurant, I've told the story a million times. These people were kind of staring at us, and they walked up to us and they were like, "I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. I've never met an English person before." And I said, "What?" They're like, "You're from England. You're English, They were telling me, and I'm like, okay, sure, and because I'm an asshole, they asked me, they're like, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm a temp from Chiswick." I was literally quoting Donna Noble from Doctor Who. I was literally
That's
quoting
another thing I've
Donna
never
Noble.
seen. I've never seen Doctor Who.
So
Oh dear.
they think that there's a black guy from Chiswick out there in the middle of Louisiana. But my ex-girlfriend told me, they're like, they probably have, first off, they have no exposure. We were out in the middle of nowhere. They probably have no exposure to much people of color because the South is still segregated. And I'm not a stereotype, so it shocked the holy hell out of them. I'm friends with her on Facebook. All the time she'll send me pictures of Donna Noble still to this day. You know, people, we get caught in our own little worlds. You know, I thought the world was like LA. And when I left LA, I was like, there's a lot. LA is very diverse and America is not diverse.
Yeah, America itself is really not.
It's not segregated. It's more socioeconomic, but it's not as diverse as like a major city. And it was culture shock to me at first.
Well, I don't know. I would say America is diverse. It's just that most white Americans want to ignore the fact, you know.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you, but
Well,
like,
and even between regions, there's a lot of differences.
yes, that's my whole point. I'm used to seeing brown people everywhere, and then like I went to a place like Utah, and I didn't see any brown people. It was weird to me at first.
I've seriously wondered if America wouldn't be better if it split into 6 separate countries.
I'd be in the richest country in the world if it did. I would be in the richest. You know, we would be the real Wakanda, real
Oh,
quick.
Jesus.
And
You
despite
would
what
also
I
be in the
just,
most invaded country in the world.
Probably.
you know, despite what I just said, like when I grew up, I had there's a fair population of like Mexicans in my area, so there's
Shut up,
always
Stool.
been
Nobody asked you.
there's always been a few Mexicans, but like in my graduating class, in my class at school, there was also an adopted Vietnamese girl. There was another Vietnamese family that lived on my block, and in my class there was an adopted Ethiopian kid. So
You know,
like my
Diana's got a
graduation,
point here.
well,
Diana's
my
got a point here.
graduation, yeah, well, my graduating class was like positively cosmopolitan compared to
geez.
everywhere else in my town.
That's my point, Doc, is exactly what you're saying.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
It was
Otherwise,
just-
it was a bunch of Krauts and Nords I grew up with.
Hey, where I lived in Michigan was a very diverse town. We had 6 blacks and 1 Asian.
Wow.
you guys,
Where my aunt lives now is a real nice little working class melting pot, which is great for my daughter because honestly, I want her to be exposed to all different types of people. And since she was a baby, and I love this about her, you know, she's like been fascinated by people of other races and like does not care about color and is friendly and nice to everyone.
most of that stuff is taught to people. You know, we are reactionary beings. We're the sum
Don't
total.
insult Will that
everything.
way.
Yeah,
everything that's
Will,
ever-
Hans is calling you a clone of Stool. Are you going to take that?
Yeah, I think he's quoting disaster.
No, when I first came in the community, I said that Stool like regenerated into me. So I'm what happens after Stool. Stool and I are actually very much alike. I'm just the cool
Stool-
version. I'm the
Stool-
extremely cool version. That's all.
Okay, do you think ducks are stupid?
No, they're dangerous. So
Ducks are not dangerous. Josh,
ducks are
Will just said
evil.
ducks are dangerous.
Okay, so Will is an unstable milking stool.
I'm a very stable sewing table.
Yeah, and
Cricket,
ducks have a
cricket,
nasty
cricket.
bite.
Ducks are evil. When Isaiah was younger, he was
Ducks are awesome.
there's a place, there's an apartment complex around here, and it has a man-made lake in it. And in the gates of this man-made lake are ducks. And I had an ex-girlfriend that lived facing the lake, and Isaiah was playing near the water one day, and he was a little guy. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden the ducks kind of like start bowing up to him, and then they surround him. You know, they were gonna attack my kid. I came in stomping, like you are not gonna attack my kid. So I've discovered I have not a hatred for ducks, but ducks are evil.
Ducks
Okay,
are not
but-
evil.
They are.
Ducks
evil.
are evil, but they are not as bad as geese.
Geese are even. No, I'll fight. I'll fight.
Geese are the devil. Geese are why I believe there is such a thing as Satan, because only something as terrible as everybody says Satan is could have created geese.
You've never
We
been
all know
spit
I'm
on,
terrified of geese.
but you've never been spit on by a llama. Get spit in the face by a llama and tell me you still like those things.
I
Get
got
chased
spit
by a
on by a
goose.
camel.
Oh, their breath smells so bad. When I went to school, there was other races. There was apartheid. People are trying. It's just strange times. That's all I'm saying. I grew up in a very integrated place, so it was weird to me to see people segregated. But
I was just raised to, if I was ever caught being a racist fuck, my mother would have, and my mom is like a very small, frail old lady at this point, but I fully believe if I was a racist piece of shit and my mom found out, she would kill me and successfully hide my body.
Oh, so because I'm a bit of a stoner, to
A
take
bit?
it back to take it back to the video game subject really quick. I don't want to age myself, but I almost failed a certain grade because of Final Fantasy VII. I loved that game more
I've
than
never
school.
played Final Fantasy. That was just never my thing.
Oh,
I'm
Yeah.
just more of like a Zelda. I've always been a Zelda freak for the most part. I've beaten every incarnation of Ocarina of Time except oh wait, no, I have beaten the 3DS
The
incarnation.
only reason I know anything about Final Fantasy was that movie, The Spirit Within.
Mm.
Which I've never seen.
I still watch that movie. I love that movie.
It's a
I
good
have it on.
movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Although
It was a
Final
good
Fantasy
sci-fi
VII
movie. Like I said, I knew nothing at all about the story before that. So
Although Final Fantasy VII Advent Children is an excellent movie.
Yes, I have seen that.
Excellent
Yes.
movie.
Yes, Doc. Yes. I
It's
have
very
seen
good.
it.
I need to watch the Resident Evil movies again.
I was
They're
incommunicado.
pretty good.
Like, oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
I think more
Resident
movies
Evil.
should
So
be
we're back
made
to the
like that.
geese.
Yeah, there you go.
No, we're back to zombies, which is one of my favorite genres of horror.
How's it going, Liam?
I gotta admit, I'm completely bored with zombies. I didn't get into The Walking Dead for a long time, for like a
I
few
didn't
years.
actually. I lost interest in The Walking Dead as a show, but the concept of a zombie apocalypse, at least in some of the types of zombies that I see in some of these horror movies, the fact that it's quite realistic, I feel like it's plausible because of the way that mankind fucks around with biology.
Okay,
For all we
Yeah.
know, some kind of virus could be engineered that could cause a zombie-esque plague.
You don't
Yeah.
have to worry about zombies.
Possibly.
Like The Walking Dead kind of it speaks on something that's really true. If the grid went down today, we would go
Yeah.
back hundreds of years. So take out the zombies. That's how people would be acting if the grid went down. I mean,
Yeah.
within
Okay.
a month or two. You know.
Yeah,
Well-
life would be brutal, and
Yeah,
that's the only thing that got me into The Walking Dead, because I was like, for like 3 or 4
The
years, I was
societal
like, fuck-
collapse aspect.
I was like aware that Walking Dead was popular, but I was like, fuck Walking Dead. It's another zombie show. I don't care. But they started winning Emmys and shit, and people were talking about the great acting, and I was like, how could there be such great acting in a zombie flick? So I checked it out, and I was like, oh my God, this is a great show. This really is a great show. And that was the thing, Will. That was the exact thing, Will, that attracted me to it. It was like, fuck the zombies. This is exactly how people would act in any kind of apocalyptic scene.
Oh yeah,
And it became more about the character acting and about what was going on in the living part of the world, and I think it's a great show. But I admit it took me a while to get into it, because I was like, oh, fucking zombies, who gives a shit?
I stopped watching it after they killed a specific character, but like I loved that show. I read the comic first, and so when they started veering off from the comic, I was like, oh, they like just like Game of Thrones, they got popular, so they kept going.
I never
Yeah.
watched Game of Thrones.
It
I
was-
understand I belong to a very small subsect of the population for that, but I've never watched Game of Thrones. It's just, first of all, I can't afford HBO. Second of all, just not my thing.
When I was younger, I read a lot of books about dragons and mages, and so I was into it.
Yeah, I got into Game of Thrones. I think it. I liked it because modern movie technology is awesome, and like I'm digging seeing the fantasy stuff for the modern day. But I gotta admit, I kind of don't like Game of Thrones because it's still a lot about people just being complete shit to each other. People just treating each other like fucking dog shit, and that really dismays me terribly. It's like celebrating just treating people like shit.
That's why I
But
don't watch
otherwise,
a lot of
great,
stuff.
Otherwise, it's a great modern fantasy show. So
I think
ambivalent.
Oh, sorry.
I'm ambivalent about Game of Thrones. It's like I love it and hate it. It's like it's a great modern fantasy show, but it's also a show about people treating each other like shit, and that sucks.
That's
You know
why
what show
It
I
kind of
love?
celebrates it,
I quit watching network television because I felt like they were reinforcing stereotypes. So I know what you're saying. Like they were
Yeah.
putting out certain tropes of people, and I would and then if you put a stereotype out there, people in other countries think all of that particular group act like that, which is complete bullshit. So
Yeah,
I got
well, and then
tired of network television
yeah,
because it's just crap.
yeah, it's very brutal, very sexist, very that's just a part of Game of Thrones and a lot of shows and a lot of network TV, like you said, that I just dislike. But but
Tiny
the only reason
Captain.
I like it at all is because it's just a really good modern medieval fantasy tale.
Tiny Captain kind of hit the nail on the head about The Walking Dead. Like we could be living that soon.
Yeah.
You know what show I fucking missed that I loved was Bates Motel.
I haven't got into that yet.
So have you seen Have you seen the original movie?
The
What do
original
you
Psycho,
think?
of course.
What do you think?
Love the original movie. And I don't even like
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes because he's a homophobe, but I like the song that he made.
No, I have not seen the original movie. I do know of it, and so I know what it was based on. But the show Bates Motel, I liked it because it was like a prequel but modern, which was cool.
Yeah.
I refuse to watch it.
No, honestly, I think you'd like it. You should give it a shot. And I'm not just saying that because I happen to enjoy Freddie Highmore. And if anybody doesn't watch The Good Doctor, then they need to. Who the fuck is this?
Who else could it be?
Yeah, it's gotta be
no.
Stool.
Oh, there goes my day.
And I know I happen to know Stool is at least half wrong about the penises.
Well,
I happen to have personal knowledge of the fact.
All right, Stool. Who let you out of your cage?
Hey.
You three-legged arse grabber.
You
Fucks.
racist.
I've just been talking while I'm muted. Oh God, I'm a dick.
Oh,
We all
really?
know.
You're a dick. This is news.
We all know.
What do you
Apparently,
want, metal?
breaking news. Now StreamYard doesn't like me.
Well, who
I-
would like you? Look at yourself.
It doesn't know who I am.
Shit, what happened to you?
No, they did that to me too because I'm always on the other computer and not my beautiful MacBook Pro with the M1 chip, and
Well,
I'm on that today, and they asked me to sign in on my own.
You know
stream.
what? Will, I hate you now officially.
And they asked me to sign in.
Can I look at it? Can I touch it?
Well, I'm talking to you on it. Normally, I would be on my desktop Mac.
Show me
But-
yours and I'll show you mine. Go on, get it
This
out, big
is
boy.
getting entirely too gay for my liking, and my boyfriend's not even involved.
I'm not gaying, but I do want to touch Will's M1.
You're gay. You're just getting entirely too gay with this Stool.
SciNeice, it always gets gay when Senor Sewing is here.
Anyway, hi, Purple.
Really because it wasn't this bad until Stool popped up. This is Stool's fault. We're blaming Stool now.
Yeah.
Oh, you know I go downhill when Stool walks in the room. It's all butt jokes from here on out.
Hashtag.
Sorry.
All butt jokes because Stool is an ass.
No.
You know, autocorrect, every time I type in the word blame, it automatically fills in math pig.
And no, Stool is not an ass. He holds up ass.
No, Stool is an ass.
No,
Listen.
Stool is under an ass.
You
he
guys
holds
know
up
me.
ass.
You guys know me very well. I'm very shy. I would never usually jump into somebody's stream. But
Yeah, sure.
no, weird sleep things have been happening to me. I've been sleeping, Purple.
I saw you said something about sleeping all night.
I did 16 hours in one go, and then I did another one last night. I don't know what is happening. I think maybe I'm broken or something. I don't know.
Well, I know for me, after it gets pushed to a certain point, which can take several months, that my body just crashes and forces a hard reset.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, that could be what it is. Yeah, it's like a reboot, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. So
We need a reboot where Stool gets eradicated.
I woke up about an hour ago and totally confused because this place is confusing the fuck out of me. And
You're confusing us by existing.
I check the YouTubes and I see that Purple is streaming. Now I've not received a notification, so I'm annoyed about this. And I check this out and I see Doc is here, looking sexy as fuck and sounding even more gorgeous than I do. This annoys me.
Well, you don't sound gorgeous, so that sets the bar awfully low.
This annoys me immensely.
I'm drunk, so.
Oh, yay!
Okay, Stool, I appreciate that you woke up and came in here. That would probably explain why you haven't brushed your hair yet.
Oh, fuck
off. What hair does he have to brush?
Hey, I have to brush my hair. Have you ever seen my eyebrows? I have to go like this all the time.
You know what, Will? Stop it. You're fine. But Mr. Racist down here.
You know, I can't show you on this stupid camera because it's shit, but I've got an eyebrow problem. They're really long.
More than an eyebrow problem. You've got more than an eyebrow problem, buddy.
They're getting really long, and also
good. Maybe they'll cover your ugly ass face.
Yesterday, I realized I was a penis because for several weeks when I arrived here, I wasn't able to shave because I haven't got a mirror.
Where are you exactly?
And I opened the wardrobe yesterday where I hide my 25-kilogram bag of rice, and it's got a fucking mirror on the door. Inside, it's got a fucking mirror. I'm a massive penis.
No,
penis does not have eyebrows.
Stool is just a scrotal hair. That's all he is.
I can take that.
Stool, it's far worse for me because I have mirrors, but I'm undead, so I don't cast a reflection anyway.
I don't like you today, Doc, because your voice is like...
Stool, when do you ever like anybody?
It's level 12 sexy.
That's awesome.
Doc
is always sexy.
I'm not doing the gay because I'm not the gay, but I do want to touch Will's M1. I really do want to.
All right, hold on. Let me go get my mirror. You can see yourself.
Stool, I have to say that I happen to know through personal experience that your title is at least half wrong.
Stool is so gay that Freddie Mercury could be mistaken for a Westboro Baptist Church member standing next to him.
Oh, I've got to see this. Will, I'm going to make you big. Right? I'm going to make you big. Show it to me. Go on, Will.
You can't do that. I've got to make him big.
All he has to do is rub, and he can make himself big.
Stool, you're making me
Stop
big
it.
with all that talk. Jenny
Oh
beat
my
me to it.
gosh.
Jenny beat me.
Will, show it to me. Come on.
There it is.
Oh my God. I want to touch it.
This
I
is,
want.
this is too gay for my liking.
Oh,
Next
Will.
to a sewing machine.
Will, you know,
This
mine
is
is.
total behind the scenes. Look at that.
Will, here's the thing, Will. Mine is old and cute. Yours is new and shiny.
I thought yours was old and shriveled.
This is true. Yeah. Wow.
Because you're old and shriveled.
That is purchased this year.
Hey,
But
be nice, you. Stop being so nasty.
Oh, I didn't see Jenny was here. Sorry.
Hey,
Yeah,
Hi,
she
Jenny.
just came back.
but Stool,
Being nasty to Stool is part of my shtick.
Well,
And then he threw it right back.
Oh,
Will,
and I
you've
want you to see
literally
this.
given me the best thing ever.
I
I've
have
never
one of
seen-
these.
A hard
too.
on.
This is from 2012.
Mine is a 2012.
I
Mine's
think
a
my
2012.
laptop's from 2012.
I
Actually.
obsessively watched Battlestar Galactica on this one.
Is it a mid 2012?
You
you know-
know
do-
what? It's
Do you know
been
how?
so long.
Do you know how
Yes,
to check?
Y'all talking
Yeah,
about this laptop like it's a car.
I gotta look on the Apple. Yes, I
No,
know how
no.
to check.
Look on the Apple. Go to your system
Oh, yeah.
preferences, top left, and do system info. And I'm guessing that is a mid 2012.
So what do you get if you're right? That's the question.
I'm just happy. I've seen his M1. I'm so happy.
Oh, that's a brand new M1. Well, brand new-ish. I got it this summer, but it still hums and purrs.
Can I ask you a very personal question, Will?
Maybe.
I'm sorry. M1 is the Abrams tank.
And also one of the greatest Sega Genesis games ever invented.
Am I allowed to ask how many
Also,
of
the car that
of-
started the entire BMW M line of motor vehicles, the M1 in '76.
This is the sexiest thing ever because Will's got his M1 and Jenny is here who
Hey,
does
Sandy.
Final Cut Pro, and I'm just so happy now.
Just got in from getting groceries,
Will has
and
Final
boy
Cut
is
Pro,
my
too.
bag tired.
Well, Will
Mm.
has Final Cut Pro as well.
Yeah, but Will's a dick. He probably doesn't know what it is or how to use it.
Have you seen my videos? Do you know people ask me, they're like, why is your video so quality?
Nobody says that.
Because Apple's done it. They actually do. It's because I have a 4K camera though, so it just makes it shiny. It makes everything look better.
I don't even know if my eyes could see in 4K.
No, I had
You
a
know what
friend,
else would be really shiny?
basically a friend
Will's
of mine was
head?
trying to say like how the
Besides
hell-
Will's head. Well, Will's head
were-
is always shiny. I was thinking my foot after it goes up Stool's ass.
they were basically asking me how the hell did you figure out to have your videos such of good quality? They were trying to be polite.
One of the
I think
nicest
your camera's better
things.
quality than mine.
One of the nicest things that's happened to me recently is being able to get my lovely MacBook Pro up and running, and for that I have to thank Purple and her compadre. Thank you. And being able to just use Final Cut Pro again is so damn therapeutic. It's nice. By the way, Jenny, Ken Burden says hi.
Hi, Ken.
He loves you.
You should.
We all love Jenny.
Sorry, Liam, for showing the fourth wall in the sewing room around here with my Mac.
Yeah,
collection.
everybody loves Jenny. Jenny is the best.
No, I'm
Jenny's so
not.
lovable. How can you not love Jenny?
I'm going to have to raise a little disagreement here on this one because recently I sent Jenny a DM and I showed her my big thing and she's yet to reply to me.
Well, you know what? If you sent her an unsolicited small shriveled thing picture,
I'm
why would you
I'm
expect
sure-
a response?
I'm sure Stool is talking about the coffee cup.
I honestly thought she'd be impressed with it, but nothing. Check your DMs, Jenny.
I can't right now, or I go off the screen.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not as scary as it sounds. I think you would appreciate it. Just saying.
Am I
You know
right
what
about
I
it?
would
Is
appreciate?
it the cover?
I've broken Jenny.
You know what I would appreciate, Stool? If you would go outside and play hide and go fuck yourself.
You know what? Usually I would get slightly perturbed about your petulance, but today I don't care because I'm happy. And that's an unusual occurrence. I've been outside.
Unusual is an understatement. You're usually the most miserable son of a bitch I've ever come across in my life.
Yeah, it's my thing. And I've been outside,
Petulance?
and
Have
you
you
would
become
not.
have you become a mustache stroking supervillain?
Yes, I have. Chin.
You're
Stool is
using
always
words
a supervillain.
petulance. She was insolent.
I am the farthest thing from insolent. I am the farthest thing from petulant. I am the nicest person to ever walk this planet.
Ah!
Fuck you, Josh.
No, you're not. You're an evil bitch.
I've been outside into the real world out there. And
You're an evil bitch.
there is
I am
something
not
very
evil.
Yes, the fuck you are. You're an evil bitch.
This is not a thing you should do.
Listen,
Mute. Mute before this happens. Mute.
No, this is just because our ex-roommates started stalking us, so I turned them in for multiple felonies I knew them to be committing, does not make me evil.
Can I do my story now, please?
You are a story in and of yourself because life is stranger than fiction.
I've just been outside, and people who love me, which, let's be honest, it's everybody, will know that I've been bitching for about 3 months about the noise that I have to endure here.
Oof.
Well, you bitch anyway, so bitching is like tuned out at this point when it comes from you.
It's been completely silent for 2 days. And I've just been outside into the real world where there are pubs and clubs and all that kind of malarkey.
Oh my god, you actually left your house?
And it's pleasant. It's not noisy. I don't know what the hell is happening.
Well, has there been another spike recently?
Check my latest video. I'm not shilling. Check my latest video where I try my best to prove that I'm not making this crap up. You can hear the noise. You can see what I have to endure.
What
It's
do you
all
have, like,
stopped.
city neighbors or something?
Chaos.
It's
Sorry.
the weirdest shit ever.
We have noise all the time in this room where we're staying. But we can excuse it because Josh finally figured out, like, while I've been at work, he like pays attention to the banging we hear on the ceiling. He finally figured out it's kids running around, and so he's not mad. His kids are gonna be kids, and
No matter what you say, they're gonna do.
Speaking of which, I just got a total PTA call right now.
Uh-oh.
No, it was anything. Everything's online, but the speech therapist calls me and she's like, "We have an appointment today at 1:15. I have to cancel." And I'm like, "We had an appointment?" it was for my son.
I've had those moments.
But they email my son, but like, I don't know. These people are weird because they get paid. If your kid doesn't show up, they don't get paid. So they're calling me like, your kid needs to effing show up. And I don't blame them. So it's funny.
My daughter's in speech therapy, actually in speech and occupational therapy. So,
but because of COVID, our school system has completely fallen apart. So I'm trying to help out, but I also have no sympathy for people who are asking me to send my son to Delta Variant Elementary or Delta Variant Junior High. You can go F yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, man, these fucking schools.
Okay, folks, I hate to do this, but I've been running on so little sleep, I need to go lay down.
Awesome.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm going to need to wrap this up here.
Yeah, it's lunchtime around here anyways.
Yep. So, anybody have anything they want to plug before we go?
Mike's
Okay.
not on the
I do.
screen,
Go
Josh.
get your what's that called?
Vaccine.
Your vaccines? Yes.
Vaccine, and if you get sick, go see the doctor. There's lots of stuff they can do for you.
Yeah, unless you have a compromised immune system, there's no reason not to go get your vaccine.
And even then, if you have a compromised immune system, you take it up with your doctor and follow what your specific doctor says.
Yes.
Not Dr. Google.
What a novel idea, getting medical advice from people who spent years in university training for it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
What a strange concept.
It sounds crazy to me. That will never catch on.
You sound crazy to everybody, so there you go.
Hey, you know, one of the I've not got a lot to be proud of these days, but when I got my second job, I felt like a big grown up person.
You're
And
doing your part.
Yep.
That's a good thing. So, all right. So you guys ready for the Godless Knowing Avalanche?
You got
or what?
something coming up?
Uh-oh.
oh, don't do
How's
this
it
to me.
going? I'm Godless Sewing from the Godless Sewing channel, and I am right now working on a video about the war between the surgeon and myself. I was cleaning out my middle bedroom, aka my closet, and I found the instruction video for the surgeon. So I put it in my video. Yeah. And it's on YouTube. So I'm not gonna give away any secrets. So I'm making a video right now. And go subscribe to the Godless Sewing channel. I blocked half the internet. Live your life in peace. I love you all. Godless Sewing channel. And if
We
you say
tolerate
something,
you with great affection,
if you
too.
say something out of the side of your mouth, I might block you too. I might block myself.
You could make this even better, Will, if you just did one little thing for me right now.
Keep your pants on.
Stool, we've never done that on air before.
I know, but I think it's time we
Stool,
should tell
out.
the people what we've been doing. Okay, get it out one more time before Purple ends this. Show the lovely ladies and gentlemen your M1.
No, I put the mirror down.
But I want to see it again.
You know what, Stool? This is, you know what? Just put a sock in it.
I can almost smell it.
When I walked in the Mac store, they let me stroke all the computers too.
This is just getting too dirty.
And with that, I would like to thank all my patrons: Greg Hartwick, the Lavender Lady, Robert X, Ox, Junie the Apostate, and X from the Utah Outcast. Oh, and Von Rick. Sorry, almost missed Von Rick there.
Von Rick.
Yay.
Von Rick is sexy.
Von Rick is wonderful and generous person.
Yep.
So I appreciate you all, helping me keep this going, and I appreciate all you people who show up every week just to listen to us ramble.
Yeah, I turned up late and I've broken everything yet again, Purple. I apologize.
Oh, no, you didn't break anything. It's just I had to be up early this morning for a doctor's appointment before this.
Well,
so it means I effectively got less than 3 hours sleep.
I realized you didn't seem to break anything on Purple's end, but my clock stopped here.
You see what you've done, Stool?
Bye, all.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Rock out with your clock out.
You're very kind.
Bye.